Smith. This is my domain to Teachback, and I have questions 105 to 109. So the first question 105 states that a physician conducted a research study on the medication compliance of a diabetic patient. The facility consent for treatment form include authorization for the use and disclosure of PHI for research. So the physician wants to begin the study. Why is this not acceptable? The options are A, the privacy rule prohibits compound authorization. B, research does not require an authorization. C, the physician must call the patient of the study first. And D, HIPAA prohibits the use and disclosure of information for research. The answer I picked was A, and the key concept of the privacy rule prohibits compound is I picked A because HIPAA required a separate authorization for treatment and research to ensure patients are fully informed. Compound authorization are prohibited to avoid coercion. And then a real world example is a hospital cannot include research consent with treatment consent. For example, a diabetic patient must separately authorize the use of their data for compliance studies. The reason why it wasn't B, the research does not require an authorization, because HIPAA does generally require patient authorization for research unless it's for a private board grant and it grants a waiver. And then it's not C because C is incorrect because HIPAA does not mandate calling patients before using their data for research. And authorization, a phone is not a phone call. And D is incorrect because HIPAA allows the use of PHI for research. So that would be incorrect because they allow it. Question 106. Mary Smith has gone to her doctor to discuss her medical condition. That is the legal term that best describes the best communication that has occurred between Mary and her physician. The options are closed communication, open communication, private communication, and privileged communication. I picked privileged communication. The key concept of privileged communication is legally protected, ensuring patient-physician conversation are confidential and cannot be disclosed without consent. A real-world example of this, I'm going to use the question. If Mary discussed her symptoms with her doctor, like say she had diabetes or anything, the information is protected. The doctor cannot share this with her employer without consent. The reason I said it wasn't a closed communication because it's not recognized as a legal or a medical term related to confidentiality. I didn't say it was an open communication because, open communication is incorrect because patient-physician conversation may be open. The correct legal term would be privilege instead of open because that's, again, the correct legal term. And then private communication, I picked that incorrect because I just knew it was either the open communication and privileged communication. Oh, still recording. Okay, question 107 is community hospital wants to provide transcription service for transcription of office notes of the private patient of physician. All of these physicians have medical staff privilege at the hospital. This will provide an essential service to the physicians as well as provide additional revenue for the hospital. In preparing to launch this service, the HIM director is asked whether a business associate agreement is necessary. Which of the following should the hospital HIM director advise to comply with HIPAA regulations? The options are each physician practice should obtain a business associate agreement with the hospital. B, The hospital should obtain a business associate agreement with each physician practice. C, because physicians all have medical staff privilege, no business associate agreement is necessary. Or D, because the physicians are a part of an organized health care agreement with the hospital, no business associate agreement is necessary. I went with B. A BAA is required when an entity provides service involving PHI on behalf of another covered entity to ensure data protection. A real world example of this is a hospital providing transcription service for private practices must have a BAA with each practice to legally handle patient notes. I said A was incorrect because as sorry, I said A was incorrect because the hospital, as a service provider, must initiate the business associates agreement, not the physician practice. I said C was incorrect because the BAA is necessary. And then I said D was incorrect because, again, the BAA, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes on the side because, again, it requires a BAA to, again, the BAA is necessary. Okay, we're on question 108, which is the second to last question that I have. Question 108 states, which of the following is a mechanism that records a examine activity in information systems? The options are e-signature laws, B, security audits, C, minimum necessary rules, D, access control. And the answer I went with was B, which is security audits. The key concept of a security audit is that it tracks and examines system activities, ensuring that the PHI is accessed appropriately and detecting unauthorized access. And a real world example of this would be a hospital conduct an audit on its EHR system. If an employee accesses records without a reason, the audit trail detects the activity for investigation. The reason I didn't say it was A was because the e-signature laws regulate the use of electronic signatures, not monitoring the system's activity. I said it wasn't minimum necessary rules because it's incorrect because the minimum necessary rules limits PHI disclosure, but does not track. It does not track the system activities. And then I didn't say it was access control because it restricts data access, but does do not monitor or record activities. So, or it doesn't control it like the security audit does. So the best option out of the two would have been security audit instead of access control. Okay, and we're on question 109, the last question. The question states, a patient requires copies of her medical record in electronic format. The hospital maintains a portion of the designated record set in the paper format and a portion of the designated record set in an electronic format. How should the hospital respond? The options are A, provide the research in paper format only. B, scan the paper documents so that all records can be sent electronically. C, provide the patient with both paper and electronic copy of the record. Or D, the patient that PHI cannot be sent. Inform the patient that PHI cannot be sent electronically. The answer I went with was C, provide the patient with both paper and electronic copies of the record. The key concept is that under HIPAA, a patient can access the record in their preferred format. If records are both paper and electronic format, then both must be provided. A real world example of this is if a patient requires a lab result and a paper physician note, the hospital must provide the lab results electronically and photocopy the notes. And the reason why I said it wasn't A, provide the research in paper format only, because again, as it says in the key concept, if the patient wants to the patient can access their records in their preferred format. I didn't say it was B, scan the paper document so that all could be electronically, because HIPAA does not require a provider to convert paper records into electronic records. And then I didn't say it was B because HIPAA allowed PHI to be sent electronically as long as a responsible safeguard is in place. So that is incorrect. And that's my domain 2 Teachback questions 105 through 109. And I hope I was able to teach y'all something today. Thank you.